a lot of people watched it, but nobody's watching day to day, all day, unless you're me, and just love this stuff. Procedures are okay, but we want to know, where do you stand? And so I think the more that politicians stop trying to be politicians and be people, then that will engage voters.
We reject alternative facts, so come on in there and let me educate you on the facts.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is the Q with Q show. This is our daily political briefing with me, your political best friend, Quentin R. Giles. But y'all know, you got to call me Q. Hey, everyone. Happy Friday. Before we get started, definitely make sure you like and share this. It's going to be an interesting show. Definitely want to hear your opinions on all of the things that happened today, especially something that just happened, 2 hours ago? So we'll be talking about that because the Supreme Court weighed in on this Texas case, but we'll get to that in a moment. But I want to welcome you all. Definitely have a good time in the comments. Definitely interact. We are family like a giant tree. You know, everybody get talking in the comments. So if you're new here, everyone will make you welcome there. Now, there is a thing that we agree with or that we do that may be a little different from every other political show you may watch. We encourage dissent. We encourage you to disagree. We encourage you to have your own opinion. Even if we agree on 50% of a story and you don't and disagree on the other 50%, we welcome all those things. Come on in here. We welcome it all. What we don't allow, what we will not tolerate, though, is disrespect. So that's cussing folks out, using foul language, attacking people, child threats of violence. All those things will get you screenshotted and sent down to the YouTube. And if it really needs to be sent somewhere, it'll get you sent on down to the FBI and the CIA. And it'll get you blocked. Don't have a problem with blocking people. Just boop, block. So those are things we don't want to do. Okay. We want to encourage dissent, but we don't want no disrespect here. Okay. Wonderful. So welcome everyone again. A little bit of housekeeping. Let me go ahead and put the link. If you're watching on the YouTube, then you already have the link. Here is a link that you all, can touch and visit at your leisure. If you'd like to support me in various forms, you can get your Goalie gummies there. Apple cider vinegar is way over there. I didn't even pull it close to me. It's way over there. But I want to push the Patreon. Definitely sign up for the Patreon if you have not signed up for it. We are doing one-on-one calls. So all of my Patreon people have the ability to schedule one-on-one Zooms with me, and we just talk and chit chat. And I think I'm going to do a random group Zoom this weekend. So everybody that's on the Patreon that's watching right now, keep a lookout for that when I post it. I'm going to post the link in a time, and we'll just hop on and do a group Zoom and chit chat and stuff like that. See how you're doing this holiday season. We done went from Thanksgiving heading on down to Christmas, and I know people had not been traveling or not by loved ones. So definitely make sure you join the Patreon. Somebody said, "What does my shirt say?" This is one of the very first shirts I made like 2 years ago, but I never sold it. It says, "Why do I have to take a drug test for a job, but politicians don't?" At the Q with Q. I made this shirt like literally 2 years ago, way before this whole phenomenon and like real people like y'all were actually listening to me. But I'm thinking about selling it. I'm thinking about pumping it back out in production and selling. So keep an eye out on that. That link will take you to the merch as well. So let's get into it. Child, where Tammy going? What y'all saying? Bye, Tammy. Where Tammy going? Safe travels, Tammy. Where's Tammy Thurston going? Hey, Tammy Thurston, let me scroll up real quick. Where Tammy going? I missed that. Oh, excuse me. That was good. Okay, Tammy said, let me pull Tammy comment up here. Just stopped. Everybody, if you're new here, Tammy is our unofficial co-host. Just stopped in to say, hi, y'all. I can't stay as I'm traveling to visit my aunt. See you guys next week. Oh, okay, Tammy, be safe. Be safe. Wear your mask. Tell your auntie and them we say, hey, how you doing? And pet your dog for me. Have a good one. Tammy Thurston, everyone. Everybody wave to Tammy Thurston. Everybody wave to Tammy Thurston. Okay, great. Now, if you are on YouTube, there is a feature called Super Comments and Super Chats. Man, I'm thirsty. That you can use so that your comment can get featured on the screen. Just like we pulled up Tammy Thurston's, okay? Just like we did that. Now let's get into some news. Let's get into a little bit of news. So y'all saw what happened? Did y'all see what happened? Y'all saw what had happened? Well, baby, down there at the Supreme Court, the people have issued a ruling. Now, we've been talking all week about the Texas Attorney General, Ken Paxton, bringing this lawsuit, 17 other Republican states or Republican attorney generals joining on as of yesterday, 106 congressmen as of today, Republican House congressmen and women as of today. I think it jumped up to 126 House Republican Congress people. Almost 2/3 of the House Republican caucus joined on to the lawsuit. And they went on down to the Supreme Court to say they wanted those election results of Michigan, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin to be completely thrown away. Deshauna Gaither, thank you so much. Just got off work. I'm here. Love the shirt. Thank you so much, sis. Appreciate it. That's a super comment, people. Go ahead. We love to see those, especially on a Friday night. We love that. And right here, Tree Kinnett. Shout out to you, boo, for the super. Well, I don't know what it is. Ain't no sticker or no comment. Okay, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much here. And to you, Keisha Smith, thank you so much for the super sticker. Y'all starting us off right already. Starting us off right. I ain't even got into the first story. We love to see it. Thank you so much. So all of them got all together. All of them went on down, file these amicus briefs. That's just legalese to send it on up there to the Supreme Court. They say Supreme Court overturn it. Throw them votes out. We don't want the votes. Well, baby, surprisingly, or not even surprisingly, let me not say surprisingly. I think I'm surprised at one part of this, but the Supreme Court said, no, ma'am, Pam, we're not going to do it. No, ma'am, and the Pam. I see 2 super comments. I'm gonna get to those as soon as I find a stopping point. I see you, Robin Haynes and Jasmine Bryant. They said, no, ma'am, Pam, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. You can go home. You can get out of my courtroom. No, the people have spoken. You have not shown proof. Y'all just throwing stuff around. You can't do that. It's a no, ma'am, Pam. It is a no, ma'am, Pam. It is a nah, not happening. It's a nah. Let me hit this one. Robin Hayes says, talk about it, Q. Do you think Texas, I guess will succeed from the union? Will Trump be their new leader? Well, I'm down here in Texas. Let me speak to this. Ever so often, we have this question. I don't know why it continues to come up, but in Texas particularly, we have this question of succession that comes up ever so often. Will Texas vote to leave the union? This literally, I know it may be a new thing. People are hearing across the country. This is not new for us. Some random somebody in our state legislature literally always brings this up every couple of years, and it literally always fails, which I suspect it will do again. Texas politics is its own beast. You have Texas people and elected officials that want to run for the federal government. If Texas succeeds, that would not, they could still run for the federal government, but it doesn't play into the line of consciousness. So no, we ain't going nowhere. We'll still be down here. Still be down here. Jasmine Bryan said, truth be told, even Stevie Wonder saw this decision coming. Baby, Stevie did see it. That's why Stevie wasn't worried. So when Stevie wasn't worried, I wasn't either. Mr. Wonder said, sit down and relax. But I think what was most shocking for me was that it was unanimous, which it shouldn't be. But, sometimes there's always a something. But all 9 justices, keep in mind, 6 of the 9 justices are Republican. Have been appointed by Republican judges. 3 of the 6 Republican justices were appointed by Trump. So that part didn't surprise me, but I thought at least one of them was going to peel off and say something crazy. There was now, for full disclosure and full context, there was a little bit of dissent, not dissent about the nature of the case, not saying there was legitimacy to the case, but there was a little bit of dissent saying that the Supreme, asking what's the word I'm looking for? Asking a at-large question, is this even something the Supreme Court could weigh in? So just for for context, the little bit of dissent that was there was not about election fraud or not, but does the Supreme Court should this even ever be a case that reaches our front door? That's where the dissent was. So, it's basically just conversation. I look at it like that. It's just conversation they was having, but it wasn't nothing major. Shout out to you, Kelly. I don't know why I said your name like that, but it just came out. Shout out to you for the super sticker. Tracy Stanton said, it's the unity for me. It's the unity. But we all saw that. The only thing I have concerns about, not so much about that, but my question is like, what now happens to like Republican voters who really thought that there was a real thing happening? What about those radicalized people that are standing back and standing by, thinking that Trump was going to actually win? Like, what happens to them? How do they react? I've been watching and listening to FBI or former FBI, former Justice Department analyst, or current analyst, but who used to work in the FBI and worked in like this, worked on terrorist cells and radicalization and all these things. And what they keep saying, let me get a little bit of this. I'm not an affiliate of this, but I like them. I buy this. It has electrolytes and B9 and stuff like that. So if y'all want some of that EAA, it's just for like hydration and stuff. Y'all know I be working out ever since I did that leg workout 2-3 days ago, baby. I've been dehydrated, which let me know I wasn't really hydrated when I hit that workout. I got to drink some more water. This 1 gallon a day is not doing it. Yeah, because I'm starting to get a little headache right now. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. This is why I like doing the live, because I don't have to be too uptight. I can just be chill. But y'all know when I goes down there to the TV, you got to be on point. You can't do this on the TV, but we family. We family. I told y'all I'm your political best friend. You got to call me Q. We friends. We just chitting and chatting. So you get to do that on the live. Woo. So that's my question. Like, what happens to them? Like, are you still standing back and standing by? That's the question at hand. Somebody mentioned in the comments about Ken Paxton and his ongoing legal issues. Hey, Correll Anderson Purcell, you ain't late, sis. You right on time. Come on in here, sis. Yeah, he does have real legal issues and definitely brought this whole, everyone suspects that he brought this whole challenge because he wants a federal pardon from Donald Trump. Which I wouldn't be surprised if he gave it to him. I really wouldn't be. Shout out to you, Keona Williams, for the super sticker. Thank you so much, sis. I wouldn't be surprised if he gave it to him because he's corrupt. This ain't real law and order. All it is y'all looking out for y'all own. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. But like Reverend Al Sharpton said the other day, this whole plot to overthrow the will of the people, because that's literally what it was. Gag on this. You for so long have been advocating for states' rights as a Republican Party, but now when a state votes the way they do, you want to throw them out. It is to uphold white supremacy. You are not in agreement that Black folks stood up in these states and said, no, man, Pam, we don't want you. You are upset that a little bit of color that made it in the White House again. And you said, no, man, Pam, we can't have these things. And so it is to hold up in a white supremacist ideal that you all are trying to do. Y'all trying to throw the whole democracy out because all y'all white men didn't win. I don't understand. Well, I do understand it. I don't not understand it, but I do understand it. But I don't understand it if you see what I'm saying, okay? If you understand what I'm saying. So that was that. But in other legal woes, y'all remember Cyrus Vance down there in New York City. Baby, well, Cyrus is ramping up his investigation. Now, remember, Cyrus took Trump to court earlier this year in the Supreme Court trying to get his taxes. And Trump basically said, you can't get my taxes. Long story short, you can't get my taxes because I'm president and it will interfere in my duties. The gag is that court case, Cyrus Vance wasn't even actually going for Trump. He was going after the accounting firm to release the taxes, right? So Trump wasn't even going to have to do nothing, but Trump jumped on it because he don't want nobody to see them taxes. Well, looks like Cyrus Vance, and this is state prosecution. And it's not a criminal case yet, but a grand jury is convened. Cyrus Vance down there in the New York. He is interviewing, or not interviewing, but has called Deutsche Bank and Trump's insurance agency to testify. So those are the biggest legal challenges or legal issues that Trump can have to face because he can't pardon himself from state crimes. And the governor of New York is Andrew Cuomo. Andrew ain't giving no pardons. Andrew ain't giving no pardons to Trump. I can tell you that right now. That's a no man Pam. That's not happening. Okay. That's a no. So I thought that was interesting that those are like that investigation is revving up. We're starting to hear Cyrus a little bit more. Our girl Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York, we're starting to see her stuff move around. Even in DC, the DC Attorney General going or looking into the inauguration. We talked about that, I think, last week. We talked about that last week, even though that's a civil case. It's not a criminal case, but it is a civil case right now, which could always turn into a criminal case on the other side. So it's interesting that people are feeling more emboldened to go ahead and go after them and not go after them because that gives a negative connotation, to actually follow the evidence where it leads them in these cases. My goodness, y'all, I am thirsty. Yikes. So that's what happened there, or that's what's continuing to happen. So we'll keep an eye out for those things. In other news, coronavirus, definitely wear your mask. We're on track to lose 3,000 people a day. That is astounding. That's horrific. So please wear your mask. Be safe. We're still waiting on the FDA. I did a video earlier. I thought they would have announced it by now, but we thought the FDA would have made its emergency approval already. Gag on this, we find out that Mark Meadows, who is the chief of staff to Trump, is pressuring the CDC head in saying that they need to get that out basically tonight, or he can start looking for another job. See, this is why people don't trust the vaccine, because y'all keep. Now, Tammy going to see her aunt. Tammy Thurston off tonight. She went to go see her auntie. But this is why people continue to have mistrust, because Trump keeps sticking his feet in the process, putting his hand in it just because you want to take credit for the vaccine. You don't get credit. The scientists do. Science and the scientists get credit. You actually don't get credit. You don't. You said we should put like disinfectant in our bodies. Nobody's listening to you. Like nobody's listening to you. None. Jackie, shout out to you, sis. Thank you so much for the super comment. Hey, all, glad to see that Trump court picks are actually doing their job. And to that point, right? Remember when, if you've been following and paying attention long enough, when Amy Coney Barrett was pushed through, I really wasn't nervous. She didn't make me feel away like Brett Kavanaugh did. I would have my eye more, and I watched both confirmation hearings. She just doesn't make me nervous in the way that it was kind of presented. And really, if you look at the last couple court cases, like sis hasn't really done anything like real talk. Yeah, I know there's a conversation about how she feels about abortion, but that may be even a video I do. Because you would be surprised how many progressive and liberal people actually feel the same way about abortion and not agreeing with it, but have the view that they don't want to interfere in someone's personal decision. And so we have such hot button topics in our country that sometimes it makes you cast people into these different silos and say, well, you must be all the way for this, when it's like, no, it's just like one part. Just like what I said, like if you don't agree with everything, we welcome dissent. We welcome that. But it could be like, I just don't agree with this one thing. I'm not saying I want this, but because the way our politics is set up and the way corners have been dug into, sometimes that can happen. So I say all that to say, like, I was never, if you go back and watch the videos, like as I was reporting on her, like I was never, I don't know. She just never made me feel a type of way. Like, nah, Brett Kavanaugh, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole, I was not here for him at all. But even if you look at the record, like since Sis been on the court, what has she really done? Like, I mean, she's pretty much ruled in a way that made sense, right? So, I just say that just to say you take it and do what you want to do with it. Tea sipper. What kind of tea you sipping on? Thank you so much for the super comment. Makes you wonder how GOP reps will look after all this, especially after the attempt to overturn the votes. I just don't know if they're going to pay a cost, right? I don't know that their voters are going to be upset with them. Same thing with this 2020 election. Republicans didn't really pay a cost. Trump paid a cost. But like Mitch McConnell and them didn't pay a cost. They still have their seats. And so essentially their voters have rewarded them and said, do more of this. You know what I'm saying? Majority of us is probably going to be looking at them like, y'all can't say nothing to me, child, please, boo. You have no room to say anything to me. But for the most part, their voters, what have their, like, they will only change when their voters make them change. Or if we have enough votes to vote them out, right? Other than that, they've essentially been rewarded for their behavior, which goes to my point. What are the stand back and stand by people going to do? Another super comment. Y'all are flooding them today, and I love to see it. Thank you so much. Come on in here on a Friday. Baby, it must be payday. Jasmine Bryan says, Q, did you hear that Trump wants to fire Amy Coney Barrett? He's apparently livid at her. No, I did not hear that. And you know, you can't fire a Supreme Court justice. But he did hinge so much of his election. Remember, we got to get a ninth justice on the court because it's going to the court. 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 Court said nah. Court said nah. And it would be, you know what would be interesting about that? If that were true, it's 5 other men, Republicans on that court. Why you mad at her? That would be par for the course for him. Six of the 9 justices are Republican. And if that comment is true, that would be just on course for Trump to be mad at her and be oblivious to what the man did. All 6 of them ruled the same way. Why be mad at her? She should, if you mad, she should only get 1/6 of your anger. But you know, I'm just about equality and equity. So, what do I know? Trill, not Trill, sorry. Tricanat. Thank you for the super comment. You say, just call me TJ. I read Chris Krebs has a lawsuit against Trump and his campaign. He's mad about getting fired and saying the election was secure. Now, see, I didn't know he had a lawsuit against Trump and the campaign. I know he has a lawsuit. Oh, man, what's that man's name? We talked about it. Let me see if it's in my... I didn't throw my notes away. I know he had a lawsuit against... Hold on. I'm going to give you the name. The man that said he needed to be shot. Joe DeGeneva. Yeah, I know he had a lawsuit against Joe DeGeneva, but I didn't know he had a lawsuit against them. But, I mean... Why not? He was fired for the wrong reason. He was fired for telling the truth. So, I mean, hey, get your money, Chris Krebs. Get your coin. Wrongful termination. We're all about that. We're all about getting a wrongful termination coin now. If you can, get that. So, you talk about show. Shout out to you, Margaret Rodriguez, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Loving y'all. I love y'all regardless, whether you give or not, but thank you. That's super sweet. We're all about a wrongful termination coin. Definitely at this moment, guys, make sure you hit the like button if you're streaming on YouTube. I've been watching some videos about like how, videos do better and stuff like that, the whole algorithm thing. So if you're streaming on YouTube, or any other platform, definitely please hit the like button. But I would love for everyone to come to YouTube and subscribe, cut on your post notifications. I have a video coming tomorrow that's about the Electoral College. Super excited about that. It won't be long. It's like 10 to 15 minutes at best. But just explaining the Electoral College, where it is, the racist history, where we are now. So definitely please hit that like button. That helps. Any video that you see, please hit the like button for me. Please watch it all the way through. If you see ads, watch those too. Thank you. And for the other people you follow on YouTube and stuff like that, if you like their content, please watch their ads. Because it helps them. Also, the longer you watch their video, it helps them. I didn't know that. Something about child. I was doing my research today, click-through rates and all this other stuff. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know. Baby, I just got down here to the YouTube. I didn't know all those things. Because normally when I get on the YouTube, baby, I just look for what I need to do, boom, boom, and go. So that be it. Oh, thank you so much. Shout out to you, Shannon Collins, for the super comment. Shannon, I think you gave one like this yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, or day before yesterday. My days running together. Thank you so much, Shannon. I appreciate that. Thank you. Much love. Much love. Jasmine said, first thing I do is like the videos around here. Okay. Baby, like the videos, right? Like the videos around here, okay? Like them around here. Somebody said, is it true UK offered Trump some of their vaccines? And he said no. Now that I hadn't heard. We talked about Pfizer offering the administration more vaccine in the summer, but they turned it down. But I said I wouldn't bash them over the head too much for that. I mean, it depends on how you look at it. Me personally, that sounded like a sound judgment move because there were so many people making vaccine and you didn't know who was going to actually create the right vaccine, right? And also Pfizer was not a part of Operation Warp Speed. So they didn't, and now we're here. However, they made it a story. They made it a scandal because his press secretary said that never happened. And then one of his people from Operation Warp Speed said, yes, that did happen. And we made a calculated judgment. So, they just be lying. They just be lying. Let me bring this back up. Oh, thank you so much, Shannon. Okay, keep up the good work. I support good content. Thank you. You do not know how much it'll help in the background. I promise you, you do not know. Even these things, if y'all haven't specifically contributed to the GoFundMe for the production studio, all this is still gonna funnel it. I wanted to set up a whole campaign for that so we could get it done. It's going, I guess it's going well. I've never done like a real GoFundMe before, so I don't know how you determine if it's going well or not. But like these super comments, super chats, stuff like that, all of that will still funnel that way to pay that. Like, so it trust me, it helps. It helps. Where is the rest of you? Oh, thank you so much, Patricia. Crazy day. Let me see. There was one more story. I do believe I didn't write my notes today, y'all. Forgive me. I actually got some pizza earlier today. And I had 2 cookies, not vegan cookies, regular cookies, and some ice cream. Baby, I was down on the couch. I was on that couch over there. I was on that couch, knocked out. I woke up as soon as the news broke about the Supreme Court, and I was like, what happened? Okay, we talk about that tonight. Back out. Had the full-blown itis, baby. I mean, full-blown itis. That was the other thing I wanted to talk about. So the House and the Senate, which was interesting, both voted on a military spending bill with a veto-proof majority. So what does that mean? As you know, this will be another one of those civic education videos that I make for YouTube. For a bill to become a law, both chambers of Congress have to agree. That's the House and the Senate, and then the president signs it. Well, there's a thing to where there can be a veto-proof bill, where so many people in the House and so many congressmen and women in the House and so many senators support it and have signed on to it and voted yes, that even if the president does not sign and say yes, it's a veto-proof majority, meaning the bill will still become a law. At that point, most traditional presidents, the signature is like performative because it's going to be a law regardless. But this, interestingly enough, is a rebuke of Trump because he told them he didn't want them to sign it unless there was a rule that rescinded protections for internet companies. Now, here is what is a gag for me, right? This is a military spending bill. It has nothing to do with social media companies. However, Trump and allies wanted to include this provision in the bill because you can do that. A bill doesn't have to just be this thing. Like they could essentially create a bill that say, let's see, we're going to give out $1,200 stimulus checks, but everybody has to wear pink on Friday. And you have to go to the gym twice a week. It sounds crazy, but literally, like they could do it. They could literally make a law like that. Like things that really have nothing to do with each other in there. A lot of bills are like that. They have a grand piece of legislation and then they will still throw some things in there that was to fix another bill or fix another law that has nothing to do with this one for the sake of this being the only way they get it passed. What's interesting is I found, a lot of times, and I'm gonna open my ears to Democrats too, but I found a lot of times that Republicans typically bash that. The hypocrisy is about to run over. Bash that, like this has nothing to do with that. Why are the Democrats doing this? And yet it's still here we have this military spending bill that has nothing to do with social media companies, and y'all are doing the same thing. And you're talking about vetoing the entire military spending bill over this liability protection for social media companies. The liability protection basically doesn't hold them liable for things said on their platforms. Now, we can have a whole conversation about that, which I personally think, you can't be the umpire. You can't be the umpire and the pitcher. Like, if you're going to be a platform, then you just be a platform. You can't be a platform and regulate your content. So like when you see flags on the content, when content is taken down, if you're regulating it, then by definition, you're taking responsibility for it because you're saying this is the thing. So you're technically more like a broadcast station, kind of, sort of. So, I mean, that's a whole debate, right? That is a whole debate and conversation that can be had. I just find it interesting that I'm pro-military, the generals, America first. You would think, oh, I just got a notification. The FDA authorized Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine for emergency use, allowing millions of highly vulnerable people to begin receiving it within days. So the FDA literally just approved it for emergency use. Just got the notification. Hold on, that's my selfie ring from the New York Times. So that just happened. But back to my story, or back to what I was saying. So he was gonna take it. He said he wasn't gonna sign it, but I mean, there was a veto-proof majority, meaning nobody cares what you say. Nobody cares what you say. Nobody's listening. They're just doing whatever they want to do. So that happened today, and literally just now, breaking news. Oh, is she talking about it? Literally just now, breaking news. There is the emergency vaccination or vaccine. So definitely, people, take your time to discuss with your family members if this is something that you want to do as far as the vaccine goes. I'm definitely still waiting on Dr. Tony Fauci to come out and talk. That's me personally. But please find credible doctors that you trust. Please talk to your own physician, right? Your own primary care physician. About that, if that's something that you want to do, definitely continue to wear the mask. Continue to wear the mask. That's continue to wear the mask and socially distance. Back up a little bit. Back up. Stay over there. Don't get too close. So yeah, because this thing is alive and kicking. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. The only thing I've really heard from the Pfizer vaccine is really that allergic reaction from our friends over across the pond. I'm actually dropping the link again, just in case y'all want to get your Goalie gummies. They are 20% off today, but specifically want to push the Patreon. If y'all want to get that exclusive content, join the Patreon too. We have fun over there. But yeah, make sure that you are talking to your physician, your health provider, all those things about this vaccine. And is this the right course of treatment for you? Let's see. Was Pfizer one of the companies that were bidding for the U.S. contract to create the vaccine? They weren't a part of Operation Warp Speed. So they weren't. I think that was like Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, and then another company. Pfizer wasn't a part. All COVID strains aren't the same. I want to know where they were harvested, from what age and stage of COVID-19 were they extracted. That's a very precise question. I'm not a doctor, so I am not in position to answer that. Let's see here. Somebody said, I do not want the Pfizer vaccine, rather take the one from Moderna vaccine. They're going to mandate me to take it since I work in the hospital. Lynn, could you talk a little bit about why you'd rather one vaccine candidate over the other? Oh, shout out to you, Amy. I'm gonna bring you up. It's not a super comment, but I gotta shout you out. She got her Goalie gummies today. Baby, y'all better get them Goalie gummies. They having a 20% sale right now. Y'all better catch them. Lynn, yeah, I'd love to know why. You work in a hospital, so you are going to be mandated to take it, which, in hospitals. So I used to work in a hospital. We used to have to either take the flu vaccine or we had to wear our mask for the duration of flu season. I've only taken the flu vaccine once. I personally did not have a great reaction the next day, so I was like, I'm not taking it again. And that was something that I opted out then. But I wonder, why do you have a distinction between the two vaccine candidates? If you don't mind sharing with us, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's see. Nicole says, I'm looking at the comments. Nicole says, I already said I will ask my doctor. I trust his opinion. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Ask your physician. If you already have a physician, as with anything, even with these Goalie gummies, talk to your physician about it, because I eat a bunch of them. Now, I'm probably not supposed to do that, but like, don't be like me. Talk to your physician about these things when you're putting things in your body. So definitely, you want to have those discussions with the professionals that you trust. Yeah. Okay. Jacqueline Jackie says she waiting on her 5-pack from Goalie. Waiting on your 5-pack, sis. Get that 5-pack. Okay, y'all. I'm going to open the floor. It's Friday. We are coming up on the end of the show. So I just want to open the floor. Are there any stories? Maybe just drop your comments. We'll see. I'm going to just look over here. Drop your comments and we'll talk about them real quick. You can still drop a super comment and we'll definitely divert to that and put that on the screen. Jessica Lynn said, I thought no one would be mandated to take a vaccine. So if you are in a hospital setting or in a clinical setting, there have been mandates already. That's not a new thing. We're talking about when you say you thought no one, that's mandate at large, like a person, or I don't want to say a regular American, but just like us walking around. But in hospitals, in clinical settings, it's not a new thing. It's not a new thing at all. So just for clarity, somebody said, I just ordered my Goalie. You better order your Goalie. Trying to tell you, order your Goalie. 20%, baby, 20%. Let's see. Somebody said, so from my research and speaking with my cousin, the Pfizer vaccine has a lot more side effects. Like what? You got to give us examples. We don't want to leave. That's very broad. We want to hear examples so then we can do our research as well. Let's see here. New California states and new Nevada state are movements seeking to form new states from rural counties. New California declared its independence in 2018 in an effort to become the 51st state. Yeah, that's going nowhere fast. I saw, and both of those like tried to join on to the court case. That's going nowhere fast. It's not a thing. It's not going to happen. Kind of like the Texas secession. It's performative. Let's see. I just want to say I am thankful for you. After I see something on the news, I always check in with you for an explanation. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Shelby. I was going to say Van Gorder. Thank you so much. I see your comment. Anything else, people? Drop your comments. We got a little bit more time. I'm gonna just read them off. Oh, good question, Brittany. What's going on with the stimulus checks? Nothing. Let me look in the camera. Nothing. That's what's going on. Employers can mandate vaccines or fire you if you refuse. Yeah, but that's a double-edged sword, because what if all of your employees refuse? Are you going to fire everybody? Like, though, that's a double-edged thing. So, I'm really worried about a stimulus package not going through. Is there any possibility of one, or will the Senate need to be flipped before we get to see that silver lining? I think we would be hard pressed to find one that will, something that's happening now. The Senate would need to flip, I think, for something to like happen in January. It would need to, because Mitch McConnell is not playing ball. There's a bipartisan group right now that's open to it, but Mitch McConnell is blocking it. So that's the power. That's one of the consequences of an election. He has power there. I don't know how Kentucky keeps letting Mitch McConnell be reelected. Right. They the poorest. They like one of the poorest states in the union. Literally. This is what always gags me. Like, how can I say this? Republicans at large have convinced their voters that one day they're somehow going to be rich, and that the things they're doing now, tax breaks, not investing in social services, things like that, will benefit them the day they make it big. That's one of the ploys of this Republican movement. Like, they have convinced them that you're going to be rich. They continue to convince you to vote against your own self-interest. Like, I hate to say it, but it's a reality. Not everybody is going to be as rich as Jeff Bezos. That's just a reality. And somehow they have convinced their voters into this American dream, and like, we're all going to be rich, so we need those tax breaks for billionaires. And it's just like, bro, that's not benefiting you. Like especially in Kentucky, like, it's one of the poorest states in the union. Can we take a moment to look at, like, what are your children's reading levels are they on par with everyone else, because y'all are divesting from education and public housing? And like, I'm just not understanding. I'm not understanding. But on the foundation of that as well is really, you know, convincing their voters that black and brown folks is going to rise up somehow and take retribution for slavery and mistreatment, when all we saying is we want equality and equity. But, you know, what do I know? What do I know? Okay, a couple more comments, then I'm out. Let's see here. Alabama is an example of that. Cute. Exactly. Alabama, Mississippi, Kentucky. It's like, y'all do know they not doing nothing for y'all. Like, you do know, like, there is money to give to you, but they keep blocking it and putting it in rich people's pockets and in their pockets. But, you know, I mean, okay. Cold-hearted DJB says Kentucky is one of the poorest states, and they have low education and keep reelecting this man. I pray for them. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I think the racist thing is like the basic blinder as well. Like, let's keep it 100. Let's keep it real. Even when you look like way back when in society and how they use the class system, poor whites were still better than blacks. And to this day, they're still using that. They may not be saying it in that exact language, but they're still using that same mantra. And so it's like, you can't even see. I think I told y'all this once before. Like, I saw an interview with this poor white woman. I mean, destitute. When they did that interview, baby, that woman lived, that was poverty. And some of the things she was saying was like some of the same things I heard from like poor black neighborhoods. And I'm like, y'all got the same concern. Or like, it's the same concern. Like, there is such an opportunity to coalition build, but, you know, there's been this mantra of poor whites being better than blacks. So you don't even want a coalition bill. So I guess stay po. I don't know. Shout out to you, Rhonda Taylor. Thank you so much for the super comment, sis. I really, really appreciate that. I see one from you as well. Lacenia James. Child, I need more water. Lacenia James. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate that. Really, really do. K Elizabeth Lindsay, shout out to you for the super sticker as well. Thank you so much. And we got a super comment from our girl Jacqueline Jackie. She always gives us one. We appreciate that. Is anyone else getting texts from pollers for the GA Senate race but don't live in GA? You know, I'm not. I've not gotten anything. Baby. And they used to blow for that 2020 election, that presidential election. Baby, they was blowing my phone up morning, noon, and night. But I've not gotten anything. I see some people in the comments, Jacqueline, saying that, yeah, they've gotten stuff. Jacqueline say she blocked them. Look, especially if you don't live in Georgia, like, look, I can do my social media activism, but I don't live in Georgia, baby. Please don't text me. I need to get a goalie gummy. That's funny. That's probably why. You know, get my brain, my juices working. But yeah, no, I've not gotten anything from Georgia. But I am hoping that Georgia pulls this out. I am hoping that Georgia voters show up. It's interesting that I wonder how it's going to play in the Republican Party too, because if things are being stolen and it was fraudulent, like, do they still show up? Do they still show up to vote for the senators? Or, like, I don't know, like, where do they fall? Do you still go and vote if you feel like it's rigged or it was stolen? Like, I don't know. It's crazy. Thank you so much. Okay, you 83. I don't know how to say that. Thank you so much. I appreciate the super sticker. Yeah, it'll be very interesting. I'm going to be interested to see what's the turnout. Traditionally, I mean, in a runoff, turnout is going to be a lot lower anyway, because the hype has kind of died down. But it'll be interesting to see, like, the number of Republicans that actually show up to vote, no matter how it goes. Hopefully, Ossoff and Warnock get up in there. Now, I likes me some John Ossoff. I've been watching John Ossoff. I likes me some John Ossoff, because John Ossoff ain't taking no prisoners. I like John Ossoff, and he not being disrespectful. He is just calling a thing a thing. He is not trying to tiptoe around it. Those are things I like that. I ain't even gonna lie. Nah, I likes that. I do likes that. I likes that. Yeah, I likes me some John Ossoff. I do. Let's see, Jasmine Bryant. Excuse me. Q, what is the allergic reaction across the pond? So they're just having an allergic reaction to the vaccine. What from my understanding, if anybody has allergies at large, it wasn't really a test group that they studied for the vaccine to know. One could really ask, like, how did y'all not, put people with allergies in the sample pool to see what was going to happen? But it's just like a natural, allergic reaction. So they are warning against that because I think a couple people, it's not a whole lot, but still a couple people had allergic reactions, and that wasn't something that was in the data. That wasn't something that they had looked at. So they are warning people to not take the vaccine if you have allergic reactions. I mean, keep in mind, the vaccine is new. The vaccine is new. So, yeah, that's that. Somebody said the TV ads were wild. I didn't really see too many of the TV ads. Yes, he's been getting them. John plays no games. Yeah, John also don't play no games. Yeah, I like John Ossoff. I do. I like John. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. Because for whatever reason, John Ossoff and Pete Buttigieg just popped in my head at the same time. I don't know why. I would much rather, because y'all know how I feel about Pete Buttigieg. I would much rather hear John, maybe because John Ossoff just a straight shooter. Even though he's young, if we were to do that whole thing, this is totally fantasy world, so indulge me for a little bit. If we were to redo that all over again, can we replace Buttigieg with Ossoff? Because I would have listened to Ossoff. Like, Ossoff just straight shooting, genuine. Ossoff feels genuine to me. I likes John Ossoff. I do. I likes John Ossoff. I really, really do. I really, really do. If he don't win nothing Biden, I'm gonna need you to put him somewhere. I don't know. Secretary of Student Loans. Well, student loans under the Secretary of Education. I don't know. Ossoff needs something. We need not lose Ossoff if he don't get this Senate spot. Because I like Ossoff. I do. I like him. So yeah. Okay, guys, we're coming up. Oh, we at the 50. Normally we try to end this thing at the 45. So this has been fun. This has been great. I love you all. Definitely make sure on your way out to hit that like button on YouTube. This is also a time for your last minute super comments and super chats. Like I told y'all the other day, somebody sent one after the broadcast had ended. I saw it on the back end and I was just like, I'm sorry. We're already done. So definitely send those as I go through my spiel again. You'll see at the bottom of your screen other ways that you can support if you want to do that directly. You can do that there. Let me put this link one more time. Hold on, somebody birthday. Hold on, somebody birthday. Well, shout out to you, Shannon. Why you ain't tell us that? We would have gave you a shout out at the beginning of the show. Shout out to you. Thank you all for a great evening. My birthday is tomorrow. I'm gonna get some rest. Turn up COVID style. Hey, wow. And tomorrow's your birthday and you're here giving me super comments. Like, I'm low-key about to cry. Like, thank you. And have a blessed birthday. We wish you many more. Definitely be safe, sis. Wear your mask. Emotional walls. Thank you so much. Have a good one, Shannon Collins. Have a good one. Enjoy that, sis. Let's see. We've got a super comment. Lynn V333. I pray to God we win both so we can make some progress. We definitely need to make some progress. And I don't want to give Joe Biden any room to say he couldn't get anything done because he didn't have a Democratic Senate or House. None of that. So yeah, I dropped the link. Get your Goalie gummies, 20% off. And also the Patreon is there. Other things, merch is there. I think I'm going to start selling this shirt too. I believe that I'm going to start doing that. So that might be on the merch website as well. So it's been great. Happy birthday to you, Shannon. Again, you are the best, sis. Thank you so much. And thank you all for the continued support. We will be back next week. I have a meeting tomorrow with the interns. It's our first collaborative meeting, all of them. They've all signed on. So we have a meeting tomorrow at 2 p.m. CST. Super excited about that. It's going to be great. And so we'll have more content coming for you. Okay. Y'all have a great night, and I'll see you next week.
A lot of people watched it, but nobody's watching day to day all day, unless you're me and just love this stuff. Procedures are okay, but we want to know, where do you stand? And so I think the more that politicians stop trying to be politicians and be people, then that will engage voters.
We reject alternative facts, so come on in here and let me educate you on the facts.